All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on this powerful, invisible network that's, well, basically running your body from behind the scenes. It's the endocrine system. And yeah, you could say it's pretty much the boss of you.
I mean, have you ever asked yourself that? Or, why can't I lose this weight? Why am I so moody all the time? These are super common feelings, right? And look, the reasons can be complicated, but a lot of the time, they point to one specific place.
So the answer might just be with your body's silent conductor, the endocrine system. And I love that analogy. Think of your body like a huge orchestra. The endocrine system, that's the conductor. It uses these little chemical messengers, we call them hormones, to make sure every single section is playing in perfect harmony. And when it's all working just right, you feel fantastic. But when it's not, oh, you definitely feel it.
And here it is. This is the whole crew. I mean, from the pituitary gland way up in your brain down to the adrenals sitting on your kidneys, every single one of these glands has a super critical job. We're talking metabolism, stress response, growth, your mood. I mean, it's pretty much everything that makes you, you. Okay, so to really see this system in action, let's do something fun. Let's put one of these glands on trial. We're going to focus our little investigation on a really common culprit for when things just feel off, and that's the thyroid. So let's meet Mary. Her story, which comes right from our source material, is something I think a lot of us can relate to. She was doing everything right, exercising, eating well, but her body just wasn't cooperating. She was tired all the time, and that weight just kept creeping up. It's a classic endocrine mystery.
So for Mary, the prime suspect was this little butterfly-shaped gland right here in her neck, the thyroid. Now, its main job is to produce hormones that control your body's throttle. Think of it like the gas pedal for your metabolism. It decides how fast your engine burns fuel.
And sure enough, the diagnosis came in: hypothyroidism. Hypo just means under, right? So this is a classic case of an underactive thyroid. It just wasn't making enough hormones. It's like that conductor we talked about suddenly told the whole orchestra to play in slow motion. Mary's entire system was just slowing down.
And when you look at the classic signs, Mary's experience matched them perfectly. The fatigue and weight gain, well, that makes sense, right? Her metabolic engine was just idling way too low. Feeling cold all the time? Yep, that's because your metabolism generates body heat. Turn it down, and you get chilly. Even things like dry skin, constipation, that mental dullness, it's all part of this system-wide slowdown. These are exactly the kinds of patterns doctors look for to connect the dots.
And this slide, wow, this just perfectly illustrates the most important point. It is all about balance. The endocrine system is obsessed with hitting that perfect sweet spot. See, with too little thyroid hormone, you get hypothyroidism. Everything's slow and sluggish. But on the flip side, too much, that's hyperthyroidism. And your body goes into absolute overdrive. You get weight loss, a racing heart, you can't stand the heat because your engine is just running way, way too hot. It is such a delicate dance. Okay, so we know the thyroid was the problem for Mary. But wait a minute, who tells the thyroid what to do in the first place? Let's move up the chain of command. Well, meet the real boss. It's this tiny, pea-sized gland called the pituitary, and it's nestled deep inside your brain, in this protective little bony cave. They call it the master gland for a reason. It's the one sending out the orders that control the thyroid, the adrenal glands, your growth, you name it. It's not just the conductor, it's like the conductor of all the conductors. And because it's so vital and so incredibly well protected, you can imagine that if something goes wrong with it, say a tumor develops, getting to it is a huge challenge. I mean, you can't just drill through this skull. No. Instead, surgeons perform this absolutely incredible procedure. It's called transsphenoidal surgery. Get this, they actually navigate instruments through the patient's nose and sinus cavity to get to the pituitary gland. I mean, think about that. It just goes to show you how absolutely critical this tiny little gland is, that we've developed such a mind-blowing, intricate way to fix it. Okay, so metabolism is obviously a huge piece of the puzzle. But the endocrine system also manages two other things that are critical to our daily lives: how we respond to stress and how our body uses fuel. Let's talk stress. Perched right on top of your kidneys, like little hats, are the adrenal glands. Think of these as your personal command center for stress. The second you're under pressure, they start pumping out hormones like adrenaline and cortisol to get your body ready for that fight or flight response. But, and you're probably sensing a theme here, just like with the thyroid, balance is everything.
If your body is swimming in too much cortisol for too long, it can lead to a condition called Cushing syndrome. And the physical signs are really distinct, like the way fat gets redistributed. You see, the body is in a state of chronic alarm, so it starts storing energy in these unusual places, almost like a survival mechanism gone wrong.
So managing stress is all about survival. And you know what else is? Managing your fuel. That energy we get from food, yep, that's also tightly controlled by the endocrine system. And for that job, we turn to the pancreas.
And this is one of the most elegant systems in the entire body. Just look at this feedback loop. It's amazing. So after you eat, your blood sugar rises. Simple enough. In response, the pancreas releases insulin. Now, insulin acts like a key that unlocks your cells to let all that sugar in for energy, which naturally lowers your blood sugar. But what if your blood sugar drops too low? No problem. The pancreas just releases insulin's opposite, a hormone called glucagon. And glucagon tells the liver, hey, release some of that stored glucose. It's this perfect push and pull, a beautiful seesaw that keeps you fueled just right.
All right, so we've seen how the thyroid controls our metabolism, how the pituitary is the master and commander, and how the adrenals and pancreas handle stress and sugar. So now let's bring this all home. So the big question is, how can you start to spot the clues that your own endocrine system might be a little out of balance? Because your body is sending out signals when things aren't right. The real trick is just learning how to recognize them.
So let's put together a quick little field guide based on what we've just talked about. Remember that fat pad on the neck and back? That can point to the adrenal glands and Cushing syndrome. Those bulging eyes? That can be a sign of Graves' disease, which is a type of overactive thyroid. A visibly enlarged neck, what's called a goiter, points right to the thyroid itself. And of course, any big, unexplained changes in weight? Well, that often traces back to the metabolic throttle in your thyroid, or that fuel management system in the pancreas.
Now, this is so important. This is not about self-diagnosis, okay? This is about awareness. It's about learning to listen when your body is trying to tell you something's up, just like Mary's body was trying to tell her.
So let's just end with that thought. All of these glands, this whole incredible system, it's constantly communicating. The real question is, are we listening? What is your body telling you?